was recently welcomed into the sweetest group of ladies, and we're all going to be pattern testing a very, very cute Christmas quilt. I applied to pattern test this a few weeks ago. Delia mentioned on her stories that she was looking for a couple extra pattern testers for this one, and I was so excited. I wanted to write my own patterns for some time now, and I'm really excited to kind of explore how the whole pattern testing world works. Delia's stuff has been so cute previously. I really love her starry braids pattern. I'm gonna buy it soon because I really think it would make an adorable baby blanket. So obviously when she put up the application, I was quite excited. I didn't quite know what I was getting into, but oh my gosh, did it pay off. This is the pattern I will be testing. Again, I didn't see it before I applied for it, but it is so cute. This Christmas tree just makes me so happy. I saw that there was options to make it scrappy, which I was very excited about. That being said, I did buy my background fabric because I wanted it to be all one color, and I did buy my Christmas tree fabric because again, I did want it to be all one color. But everything else, I was able to use stuff from my stash, which I am super excited about. Eventually, I do want to make a quilt completely from scraps, so different backgrounds, different colors, everything. But for right now, this is going to appease my scrappy needs. I did end up going with slightly unconventional colors. I'm not a huge red and green Christmas person, so please don't be mad at me. But this is what I ended up with. A lot of rust colors, some white, and obviously the green I bought. I am quite excited about it. We'll see how it turns out. I'm really hoping it still reads Christmas. Technically, I was kind of waiting on my background fabric to go on sale. I do have it now. It's this white. I used it in my last quilt. It's super versatile. It's not bright white, which I like. It's much more of a kind of warm cream, which is great. That being said though, I did cut out and start sewing some of my other pieces. Cutting out was pretty easy. The instructions were extremely clear. It was wonderful. This is a pattern that has a lot of different colors. Conveniently, I have a bunch of small plastic bags that I generally just stick each piece in and then label it. Delia included this awesome sheet in the last page of her PDF that is specifically labels for all of your pieces, and usually you clip those onto your stack of cuts. I don't have easy access to a printer, so I went ahead and just opted for my old version, which is scribble on a sticky note, rip it off, and then pin it or stick it inside the bag. This pattern also does call for various different cuts of some of the fabrics. The green, I think, had 3 different cuts, and the white is gonna have like 8 or 10 because it is the background and you have to make up all of that space. I did sew the ornaments already. I ended up with 3 different prints as the ornaments. That's kind of what the pattern suggested, and I just went with the suggestions because it made my life easier. They are all the same color, so I'm not sure how different they'll look in the finished piece. But basically, you just take all of those little ornament squares, you pin them onto the corner of some of your tree squares, and then sew diagonally, trim, iron, and then you have a bunch of your ornament pieces. I did this with all 3 of the fabrics, so all of my ornaments should be done, except for some of the tree pieces on the edges. I will be doing those now that I have background. So our next step is to cut all of my background pieces. That's gonna take a minute because again, there are a lot of them. And then I think I'm going to follow the pattern a little more closely and do the things in the correct order. I've never made a Christmas quilt before, and I've been looking forward to this for weeks. Ever since I got the pattern, I've just been so excited for it. So I'm gonna jump right in. All right, I've got my basket here of all the pieces. I think it's about time to start sewing. Alright, we've got 24 half square triangles. If I'm not mistaken, these should be used for the edges of the tree, like little Christmas tree shape. I think I have to put a few ornaments on a couple of these, and then we might have the complete tree done, as far as like the little blocks go. I actually have a few more blocks of the green to do. The pattern's really cool because it goes up like this, and then the block right above it has little tiny points. It's hard to explain, but you'll see in a minute. So I'm going to do those tiny points, and then we should be able to move on to the trunk and the star. They're so cute! Look at them! They're so tiny! I love that Delia had this image in her head and this tiny little detail, and she didn't leave it out. She's like, nope, I am writing this into the pattern. It's gonna make it 10 times cuter. I absolutely love tiny details like this. Thank you, Delia. All right, the next step is the star, which is gonna take flying geese. I've done this technique once before, so I think I'm going to document it pretty well, just because I do think it is an interesting way of doing things. Alright, we've got a Christmas tree star. I think that concludes all of the pieces I need to sew for the Christmas tree itself. Honestly, what sounds like a lot of fun to me right now is to lay out all of my pieces in the Christmas tree design on the floor and see how it goes. Not gonna lie, my brain is kind of fried after that. Laying out was a lot harder than I thought, but I'm pretty happy with it now. I think I'm gonna let it just sit on the floor overnight, and then I will begin more work on it tomorrow. I honestly don't have a whole lot of time today, but I think I'm just gonna piece however much I can fit in. Okay, that's about all I pieced today. My time is about up, so I'm gonna stop there. Thankfully, I have a day off tomorrow, so I'd really like to just focus on completely piecing this. And then there's also a border that I have to make for 2 of the sides. So I think I can handle that tomorrow. want the trunk to be facing this way. Have the darker bit closer to the actual tree and make it kind of look like the tree overhangs it and shades it a little bit. I think that's what I'm gonna go with. This corner is really bothering me, so I think I'm gonna seam rip just that top piece and resew it on. Okay, I took a quick break for lunch and to just kind of chill out. My brain was like overloading. That being said, I only left myself with about an hour before I have other stuff to do in the evening. So I'm gonna try real fast and piece the border and put it on. Thankfully, it's just strip piecing. So basically you just sew strips together and then cut them up and arrange them however you want. These are the fabrics I have for my border. This one's gonna be the most prominent one. It's like a little gam. It's really, really cute. And then these will be the accents. I'm gonna start on that. We're gonna attach it and then I will be done piecing the top. I am unfortunately out of time today, but they are pieced and then I will go ahead and attach the borders tomorrow. Maybe in the evening after work, I don't know, but we'll see. All right, today is all about long arming. I'm a little bit behind where I was hoping to be. So I'm gonna make this very quick. I ran around and got my backing and batting today. I sewed my backing together because it's in 2 pieces. I also downloaded my file. Normally I just use the quilting designs that are on the long arm at work itself, but this time I wanted something kind of more festive and cute. And I didn't find something super Christmassy, but it's this one here. It's like the sparkly, I think it's called Sparkling Dreams by the Quilting Mill? I could be wrong. I will link this in the description or the comments to make it clickable so you guys can go to it. I definitely think it'll look cute on this one, and I'm hoping to use it on other quilts as well, just because I think the design is adorable. I'm going to be using contrasting thread, so probably closer to like this color. Oops, can't see that. So probably closer to this color here, like a brown. We're going to do this. I'm going to try and get it done today. It's already 10:30-ish. I think I can make it. But I'm gonna get going so we can start. Alright, we're coming towards the end of this project. The last things we need to do is put some binding around the edge of my quilt, and then I'm going to wash it and we should be good. Just take some film and videos for Delia. So I should have it done within the next couple days. As far as binding goes, I'm going to attach it via machine and then hand stitch it down. I much prefer the hand stitched look because generally I can hide all of my threads on the back and it just looks like this perfectly like professional covered finished edge. I prefer it that way, and honestly I kind of like hand binding. There's something really calming about it, especially if you like put on a crafting video and watch while you sew. Oh, it's amazing. I did look through my scraps one more time and I think I'm going to try using this sparkly stuff as the binding. I think I have enough of it. Not all of it is with the fabric, some of it's like 50, 60 inches. I meant to put it on a border of another quilt and then it just didn't end up working out, so I have a lot of long strips from that I think actually might lend itself well to the binding. That way I don't have to attach it more than I need to. That being said, I'm going to measure how much binding I need, take the final dimensions of this quilt, and then cut out all I need of this. I generally do a 2 1/4 inch binding. I think I have enough here. If not, I'll have to rummage through my scraps again. It's done. I sent it through the washer. It looks great, nice and crinkly now. We're gonna go take photos tonight. Overall, quite pleased with this project. It was so much fun. I was doubting my colors halfway through. Just wasn't sure they were gonna work out well, but the border really pulled it together. I'm really, really happy with how the colors turned out. I think it's really cute, very woodlandy. Cross said that the ornaments looked more like pine cones and nuts and stuff, which I'm okay with. It's a woodland Christmas tree. We'll go with that. I think it's cute. Thank you so much to Delia for letting me pattern test it. It's such a sweet little quilt. I am so honored to have been included in the group of ladies who pattern tested it. If this quilt tickles your fancy and you've never quilted before, I would definitely get a hold of Delia's pattern. It is super easy. There's a couple of interesting techniques in there, but literally the instructions are very, very clear, and it's a good way to learn those things. I think the flying geese, and then there was at one point you make several half square triangles at the same time. But those two things are very, very good to know, and this pattern is a great way to teach you those techniques. Again, I wanted to shout out to the person who designed my quilting pattern. I think it was the Quilting Mill. The design is so pretty, and it quilted extremely fast. Definitely recommend checking out her stuff. And also thank you very much, Delia. I will link her website beneath, either in the comments or the description so that it's clickable. Please go check out all of her stuff. Her patterns are adorable. But yeah, that's it for me. Thank you so much for following along. I've got some fun stuff planned for my next couple videos, so stay tuned. Hope I inspired someone to create today. And I think, without further ado, here is my Merry Magic Christmas quilt.